Hi, it's Dwyer from GamblersAdvisory.com. Here with my pick on the upcoming pound for pound mythical championship fight between the Pac-Man, Manny Pacquiao, and pretty boy Floyd Mayweather. Now, I do believe one of these fighters will win big. I am predicting that Floyd Mayweather wins this fight. Now, to help a conversation and a dialogue, and to hopefully get fight fans to comment on this video and to share their thoughts and their opinion and to tell me where I'm wrong. Let's talk about specific fights. I believe there are three fights that establish the blueprint on how to beat Manny Pacquiao. And those three fights are, and I'm talking about this Manny Pacquiao, not the one who lost early in his career to Torrealba. I'm talking about this Manny Pacquiao. Those three fights are the last fight that Manny Pacquiao lost, and that was by unanimous decision to Erik Morales, and Manny Pacquiao's two fights, against Juan Manuel Marquez. Um, let's talk about that Erik Morales fight first. Let's remember that before Erik Morales ever stepped in the ring with Manny Pacquiao, Erik Morales had actually already fought and finished fighting Marco Antonio Barrera over multiple fights. In other words, the Erik Morales who fought Manny Pacquiao was an Erik Morales with a lot of mileage. Morales was already shot worn when he fought Manny Pacquiao. This wasn't a fresh Morales. This was Morales after many grueling battles. Nonetheless, in that first fight, Morales, like Floyd Mayweather and like Juan Manuel Marquez, is right-handed. He would shoot a left jab at Manny Pacquiao, and more importantly, when Pacquiao tried to slip the jab, Morales' follow-up punch was a straight right hand. Now, what you'll see, according to PunchStat numbers, is that Erik Morales dominated that first fight with his jab. He controlled Manny Pacquiao with a jab. Let's talk about Pacquiao's fights against Juan Manuel Marquez. Forget my opinion. Let's go with the opinions of the three judges. That first fight, Manny Pacquiao knocks down Juan Manuel Marquez 3 times in the first round. There's only one way anyone could score that first round, and that's a 10-7 round for Manny Pacquiao. 10-7. But yet, all of the judges had that fight a draw at the end of the fight. In other words, each judge, on average, had Manny Pacquiao losing the remaining 11 rounds of that fight by 3 rounds. What that means is Pacquiao got dominated the latter part of that fight. Let's do the math. To lead by 3 rounds over an 11-round period, on average, is a 7-4 score. That means that Marquez, over the last 11 rounds of that first fight, won almost twice as many rounds as Manny Pacquiao. Now, if you look at the film of the fight, it's disturbing because Manny Pacquiao repeatedly throughout that fight keeps getting hit with straight right hands. Now, why is that important? Let's think it through. Manny Pacquiao's last 3 victims. Oscar De La Hoya, he's a left-hand dominant fighter, doesn't have much of a right hand. Ricky Hatton, I believe he's a left-hand dominant fighter, doesn't have much of a straight right hand. Miguel Cotto, again, left-hand dominant fighter, doesn't have much of a straight right hand. So Manny Pacquiao is most vulnerable when he's fighting right hand dominant fighters who can throw that straight right hand with authority. That's exactly who Floyd Mayweather is. Let's talk about Manny Pacquiao's weaknesses. By the way, I see I'm already halfway through my time allotment. It looks like I'm going to have to make this a multiple video presentation. This is part one of two. Let's talk about Manny Pacquiao's weaknesses. Manny Pacquiao, in addition to being vulnerable to straight right hands and also to being vulnerable to being controlled with a jab the way Eric Morales controlled him. Manny Pacquiao's other weaknesses are he cannot fight backing up. Take a look at Manny Pacquiao's videos. Manny Pacquiao is a lead puncher. Pacquiao is most effective when he's coming forward. The reason why his inability to go backwards has never really been an issue is because his hand speed is so blinding. His punches are so accurate, and his foot speed is so good that Manny Pacquiao is rarely cornered. Manny Pacquiao, simply put, hasn't really had to fight for any appreciable moment in any fight going backward. Manny Pacquiao can only fight one way. Because he cannot fight going backwards, I'm sure there are some. I believe one of them is Floyd Mayweather, who considers Manny Pacquiao to be a one-dimensional fighter. There is no defensive fight going backward gear for Manny Pacquiao. Another problem with Manny Pacquiao is Manny Pacquiao, simply put, is too left-hand dominant. I know I'm going to get a wealth of emails reminding me about Manny Pacquiao's right hand in the Ricky Hatton fight. All I can say is Manny Pacquiao relies an awful lot on his left hand to the point where a skilled fighter, a skilled counterpuncher like Floyd Mayweather, can literally focus on that left hand and avoid most of the damage. Pacquiao's right-handed power is the kind of power that can hurt you when you don't know that it's coming. But my point to you is this: Floyd Mayweather can knock you out with his left. In fact, I believe Mayweather's left hook is one of the better punches in the sport. People can't even tell whether he's throwing it to the head or to the body until it's too late. Take a look at his masterpiece against Diego Corrales. But more importantly, when Mayweather wants to turn around and turn on a punch, he can actually do significant damage with his right hand. Mayweather's overhand right is the real deal. Mayweather can knock you out cold with either hand. I cannot say the same thing about Manny Pacquiao. Now, let's talk about Mayweather's weaknesses. It's a two-way street. Mayweather has some glaring weaknesses too. First off, Mayweather's hands are fragile. He cannot, even when he has a hand speed advantage on you and sees openings, he cannot bang with you for all 12 rounds of the fight. He has had hand problems in the past. In addition to the hand problems, Mayweather is a counterpuncher. The biggest hole in his armor is the fact that because he's a counterpuncher, he's a much slower starter in fights than a lead puncher like Manny Pacquiao. In fact, Ricky Hatton fans know that more took place in the first two rounds of Mayweather's fight against Ricky Hatton than the experts have been telling you about. In fact, I would encourage you to look at the first two rounds of Mayweather's fight against Ricky Hatton. Mayweather doesn't know where the punches are coming from. He's baffled in those first two rounds. He has a hard time handling the smaller Hatton because Ricky Hatton is aggressively coming forward, and Mayweather, being a counterpuncher, just like Juan Manuel Marquez in the early rounds against Juan Diaz, couldn't figure out the angles of the punches. He was vulnerable. We'll pick this up in part two of this video. Thanks for watching part one.